Welcome to Autodesk University 2020. I'm Mikako Harada from Autodesk. I'm going to talk about BIM 360 API updates and beyond, updating you with the recent API additions and enhancements, and also what is expected to come beyond the time frame of Autodesk University. A little bit of myself. I manage a group of engineers who provide API technical support with a special focus on AEC industry and products such as Revit, BIM 360, and Forge. You can find more about myself on my personal blog. Before we go into the main topic, I need to add a safe harbor statement. This presentation includes forward-looking information. They are current expectation and not a promise, and they may change. So please do not make purchase decisions based on these statements. Agenda. So today, by the time you are watching this recording, you might have heard the announcement of new products. So before we talk about BIM 360 API, we'd like to start by giving you a quick overview of new Autodesk Construction Cloud. We then come back to BIM 360 and talk about the latest status of BIM 360 API, including recent updates. We'll take a look at this for each product module. And then Asset is a newest member of BIM 360 family product. Currently, there is no API, but we are hoping to have it near future. So we are going to talk about what is expected to come. Relationship API is a new API which is made public relatively recently. Relationship is used to represent a link between items in different modules. It is a dependent API for assets. And there's also other use cases as well. So I'm going to explain about this. And finally, we'll share the roadmap and discuss what's in the pipeline. Autodesk Construction Cloud. At the AU last year, we introduced Autodesk Construction Cloud. We talked about the Autodesk's vision for building a powerful and complete portfolio of construction management products. And this week at the AU, Autodesk announced a new unified product. That is Autodesk BIM Collaborate, a new design workflow offering. Autodesk Quantify, offering 2D and 3D quantification. Autodesk Coordinate for BIM coordination and constructability processes. And Autodesk Build, which brings together the best of BIM 360 and best of PlanGrid into a single application for project and field management. And these share the common foundation layers, which are Autodesk Docs for common data environment, Insight for analytics and data extraction, and administration layer. This is a further breakdown of supported workflow in the initial unified construction offering. Going into the detail of each is beyond the purpose of this class, so please refer to the product briefing classes or come to the answer bar by the product team for more information. And with the next few slides, I'm going to show an image of the new product UIs, but disclaimer, the UI may not be the current UI and it might change. So the first, user will have a single point of entry. And from this entry point, the user will be able to access all their project, BIM 360 Plan Grid, and over time, building connected and then assemble. The user can continue creating BIM 360 and Plan Grid projects and continue their current workflows. The user will also be able to create a new type of project as known as ACC project. ACC project is a unified architecture product we just described. When you navigate to an ACC project, you'll be able to access all the modules that you have access to. Here you are looking at the project form in a build module. From build, you can seamlessly navigate to other unified modules like coordinate, quantify, cost, etc. And shared component like issues, files, meeting notes will be available in each module, so you don't need to switch between modules to get your regular day-to-day workflow. And here is the example of document management and RFI. Now let's come back to BIM 360 and take a look at the latest status of BIM 360 and APIs, including recent updates. First, products. As many of you are aware, BIM 360 is continuously evolving. Under the BIM 360 branding, there are a mixture of multiple products and modules. Some are forged and some are not. And there are three main modules. We call it next generation. The first one is model coordination. This focuses on crash detection or coordination among models from different disciplines. The second area is BIM 360 design and design collaboration. This is all about Revit and integration with the BIM authoring tool. Desktop connector is also a part of this. The third one is field management. From the sales perspective, this is sold as a BIM 360 build. It includes BIM 360 Field Classic and Field Management module based on BIM 360 docs. Asset module is the latest addition to this module, to this build. And then cost management module is an optional add-on to this build. Currently, BIM 360 docs, BIM 360 docs-based BIM 360 has 11 modules, with the asset being the latest addition. We'll quickly go over each module, pointing to changes in API. Document management module allows users to manage 2D drawings, sheets, and 3D models, and then other project document. And this module is built on top of Forge Data Management API. So you can use Forge Data Management API to access files stored. And recently, we have exposed API for two features. One is read-write folder permissions, and another one is read-write custom attribute values. And both are highly demanded features, and we are happy to see this finally made it, even though it took some time. And note that the API for defining custom attribute is still to come. I'm hoping that the definition will follow shortly. Model coordination is all about crashes. It provides a coordination space to detect and review crashes among your project modules. Recently, we released tighter integration with Navisworks, allowing Navisworks to open a model in model coordination. We also updated the integration with issues with BIM 360. API for model coordination was introduced last year. It was now officially out of beta now. As a product now support project files folder, API has been also updated to support it as well. They also released the relationship API, which represent the links between two items that reside in a different modules. So we'll come back to this and explain later. Cost module allows you to manage the cost and budget changes to your project. Recently, we have exposed the API for budget code template. We have also added a capability to create, update, and search external relationships. Both are based on feedbacks from our integration partners. Design collaboration. There is no API directly added to this module, unfortunately, but some of the functionality developed to support design is exposed through the model derivative and viewer, such as master view and level extensions. If you are familiar with the viewer, you may be aware of this. We have updated webhook samples that demonstrate integration with Slack to include Revit Cloud work sharing, as we hear that our customers are interested in integrating with the chat capabilities. We have a high priority item for Revit and design automation to support cloud work sharing. No API is expected soon, but let us know let us know what workflow you'd like to with the APIs. Project form is your BIM 360 landing page and dashboard, which displays a single view of your project. Currently, no API for project home, but partner can add their apps to the partner card library. If you are interested in adding your app to the partner card library, please email to BIM360 partner card at autodesk.com. Insight page allows project owners and managers to view the unified project level data analytics and to gain predictive insight. Currently, there is no API, but we want to point out that there is a data connector functionality which allows you to download many data in CSV format. And good news is, API for data connector is in the roadmap. Field management is one area that the team is working to support both BIM 360 and the new unified ACC products, Autodesk Build. Project management, we released the updated version of RFI API in June. And similar to field management, project management is the area that the team is working on to support both BIM 360 and Autodesk Build. Asset module is the latest member of BIM 360 family product. It is added earlier this year. Asset module provides tools to track all of your project asset and equipment from design to handover. And personally, I'm actually excited about this feature as a BIM enthusiast. This is a feature that has a high potential to carry out the idea of BIM from design to construction and to operation and maintenance, entire building life cycles. Another good news about the asset is we are planning to release API early next year. So we'll talk about this potential use case of API shortly. Finally, there is a shared component, issues. So issue is used by various products within Autodesk beyond field management. It is used in document management, model coordination, and design collaboration. It is also used with Navisworks and more recently with Revit as an add-on. So API is the same, and issues are categorized by types and subtypes in APIs. For more information about the product features, please refer to BIM 360 release notes and product help. Now, moving to our exciting part, new API, assets. As I mentioned earlier, Asset Stream is planning to release API for Asset, and I want to show where we are right now. So Asset API is currently in private beta. You can read asset items, which include custom attributes, also settings in project admin, custom attributes, categories, and status sets. We are hoping to have public release sometime after AU, but by that time, with new capabilities. If you are interested in Asset API and you have a specific workflow in mind, please let us know. And your input will always help us prioritize. And then it might also give us an idea for samples and tutorials in the documentation. Now, we'd like to show you 3 sample applications using Asset APIs. These examples are written by our team, and it's meant for the proof of concept to give you an idea for potential area for applications. We intend to make them as a GitHub samples when API goes public as well. The first sample is to export import to from Excel file. This application exports all the asset data in BIM 360 asset module to a custom web application with links if applicable, and then download to an Excel sheet. After user modifies the Excel sheet, you can import back to asset modules. This sample is to demonstrate a basic read and write access with the Asset API. So first showing the asset in BIM 360 UI. And asset data is extracted to a web application, showing the general data now. And closer look at the links, and here opening linked resources in separate tabs in the browser. And so this is a link to the issues, checklist, and view model, and attachment. And then categories, custom attributes, and statuses. These are from the asset project admin settings. Now downloading to Excel file. So as you can see, the same data is exported to Excel sheet. In this case, using some coloring to show the customizations. Now try to modify a little bit to show the import. So now import from Excel to UI. And check in the UI and refreshing to see the new asset data. So this shows import capabilities. The second example demonstrates setting up asset data from a design model. To do this, we use a design automation for Revit. The application extracts the asset from a design model stored in BIM 360 docs and using design automation for Revit, and then import to asset modules. So optionally, we may filter and verify asset before importing to asset modules. So we save a Revit unique element ID as a custom attribute to keep the association between asset and element in the Revit. You may be able to do the similar things using a model derivative API to extract the properties from a model stored in a docs instead of using design automation. But using design automation will give you a more flexibility. For example, the extracting MEP system is only possible using design automation. So design models in BIM 360 docs. And now extract the asset data from design model using design automation for Revit. So this is the extracted data and verify. You can do something like verifications, even though in this example, it's very simple, but you can add additional the capability here. And now showing that currently asset data in BIM 360 is empty. So we are going to import extracted asset data to asset module. So asset import is done. So let's check in UI and refreshing. So asset data is populated in BIM 360 now. The third example is integration with the viewer. You can view asset data in the model viewer. You can filter asset by level and rooms. And we use a Revit unique element ID saved as a custom attribute to keep the association between asset to element in Revit, which could be done like with the second example. So here, unique element ID from the design model are saved as a custom attribute in asset at the bottom. So external ID means that the unique element ID. And 3 custom buttons are added. And if you select for instance, like an electrical fixture is selected here, then you can see, you can see in the viewer, and then you can see where the room is. And select another one. Now you want to see where it goes in the room. So you can see where in the room goes. And now let's see where the air terminal goes. So you can see this goes in toilet. And you can further see where it goes in the building. So we are still working on documentation on Forge developer portal. We'll need it to make the API public, of course. So those proof of concept sample we have shown just now will be made available as the code samples. We also intended to provide a Postman collections, which seems to be a very powerful tool to start with the APIs. So currently, Asset API is in private beta. We hope to have it public early next year. We plan to have a webinar shortly after API is made up public to explain about APIs. So next, we'll look at the relationship API. So first, what is relationship API? It actually this is a feature not visible in UI. It's a behind the scenes features, and it's a powerful APIs for the developers. So relationship represent the links between items, or we call it entity, that reside in a different functional component, which we call it a domain. So relationship is used in BIM 360 by various modules. For instance, model coordination, asset, field management, cost, and more may be used in the future. And it's actually a read-only. You'll need to use the domain functions to create the relationships. There is no method to create a relationship directly, at least at this point. So API is publicly available today, so you can use it. So for example, asset may have a links to a checklist, issues, and attachment, just like you saw in this example video demo in the first one. So checklist and issues reside in the field management, and then attachment is in document management. And relationship represent those links between different functional components. So next, let's take a closer look at the relationship between a checklist and asset as an example. In a relationship service, item to link such as a checklist and asset is called entity and is composed of three properties: domain, type, and ID. In case of checklist, domain is an Autodesk BIM 360 checklist. Type is checklist. It could be a checklist template, for example. And ID is the ID of the checklist ID. Similarly, entity for the asset is defined. And then relationships simply point to those two entities with a given ID. The relationship service keeps track of instance of these relationships created among different domains. So as you can see, it's actually a very simple, clean data structure. What's powerful about this API is that it provides a way to save and search those relationships independent from the implementation detail of each component. The relationship API provides 6 endpoints. First two endpoint is to get the relationship from IDs. The first one is for single ID, and second one, batch, handles the multiple IDs. Search and the intersect are used to search relationships that match the given criteria, such as a specific domain, type, ID, and also date created. For example, if you want to get all the relationships between asset and checklist, you can specify a parameters as a domain equal to Autodesk BIM 360 asset and with domain to checklist. You can further narrow down by adding type and ID. Intersect is another form of search. It accepts multiple relationship entities as a body in a REST API and then returns a list of relationships that matches a given criteria. Sync or synchronize relationships. This is used to sync data in relationship services and external repository. So sync status gives you a synchronization status. You can use this to check if there is a new data or there is any changes. If there is more data, you can call sync with a sync token. We have SDK published already. I put a link in the handouts, and other languages will be considered if there is a demand. Documentation is on Forge developer portal already. So relationship API is a dependency of assets. So that's the main reason for the releasing relationship API prior to the releasing asset. But there is also other use cases as well. For example, currently RFI to cost PCO, potential change order, is not in RFI API. It's still missing. So you may walk around by using relationship API to find out. So what's in the pipeline? So from document management, as we mentioned, recently we released the get set custom attribute values. What we are still missing is the ability to define custom attribute. So we hope to have it next to complete the custom attribute portion. And review is another area we often get requests. We also hear a desire to be able to control translation and viewables, such as master view, space, and zones. For asset, as we just discussed, hope to see this soon. Cost management, API for newer features need to be exposed, and especially the ones we added this year. It's still missing. So let us know which API you want to have it first. We'll prioritize based on demand. Admin API. Project-related API, there is quite a few gaps. So this is another highly demanded area, such as adding project users and companies, etc. we hope to have, we also want to have the activities API as well. Model coordination. Alignment, aggregation, also an enhancement to indexing API is in a pipeline. Field management and project management. We still have a bit of gaps in API, such as location informations, write access to checklist. So we hope to fill those gaps. And more. From Insight, Data Connector API is expected to come early next year. For design side, as I mentioned, we don't expect a website of API. However, we have quite a few requests to access a cloud model and cloud work sharing information. So functions to help in Revit API side is something we are looking at. And again, please let us know what you need to help us understanding a workflow and prioritize. So what about Autodesk Construction Cloud? So Autodesk just made an announcement about the new product. As a developer, you may be wondering, how can we access to a new products? When do we have an API? As an ADN member, do we have access to pre-release version? When can we get more information about API changes and new features? So at this point, at this time, at the time of this recording, we do not have an exact date and then detail of those questions. However, you can expect to have a developer license of new products, that's for sure. And API will be after the product release, and access to pre-release version will be something we need to be decided with the product team. And to communicate with you with the latest information, we plan to have a monthly webinar specifically targeting our partners and Forge API communities. I intended to share the latest information at the answer bar as well. So in this session, we informed you about the new Autodesk Cloud Construction Cloud product being announced this week. And we talked about the recently added API features and what is expected to come near future. And that's it. This concludes my BIM 360 update class. If you have any questions, please join me at the Forge answer bar. Thank you for listening.